This is the third video for the muscular system. We are on page 235 in your textbook, your anatomy book, and we're actually going to go from here from muscle infections all the way to the end of the chapter. So just 3 videos for this chapter. So we talked about the muscles and now what can go wrong with them. The first one is an infection called poliomyelitis. You and I may just call that polio. And we don't really see this disease very much any longer because we have a vaccination for it. And we've really done a great job at eradicating this disease in our country. But going back to people who grew up in like the 40s, this was a disease that affected a lot of people. And fortunately, we don't see this really today. Next one, muscular dystrophy. We absolutely see this one today. So muscular dystrophy is a group of diseases that we kind of put together into calling it this. It is genetic, and depending on how bad the genetics are, it could be really severe or it could be more minor. The most common one is called Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. That is a very specific kind. And with Duchenne's, it usually shows up by age 3, and it's usually pretty severe by young teens, and does not live usually very long because then it gets into the breathing and the heart muscles, and then, of course, that can cause it to be fatal. With this disease, it typically happens in boys. This is a disease that's carried on the X chromosome, which always, when it's an X chromosome disease, it's always going to be affected by boys more. Girls get 2 X chromosomes, one from their mom, one from their dad. So girls have 2 chances to get a healthy gene. Boys get 1 X from their mom, they get a Y from their dad, so they only get 1 X. So if that X has the disease, they have the disease. They don't have a second chance of getting a healthy one. So anything that's carried on the X is going to be more common in a boy. Okay. With this disease, they are missing a protein called dystrophin. This protein helps hold the muscle together when it's contracting. And so when you don't have that, when the muscle contracts, it kind of just falls apart. And I'm not saying like literally the muscle falls apart, but like the neural communication to that muscle kind of gets lost and the motion does not happen. Okay. There is some therapies going on to see if we can get donor dystrophin put into the body, which could be a great cure for this disease, but we're not there yet. This box talks about those injection sites that I've already talked about, and here's that gluteus medius that I was talking about. So you can kind of see where I was talking, that like that top. Usually think of your gluteus maximus as being your butt, but the gluteus medius is just a little higher. All right, and it talks about that vastus lateralis as well in there. Okay, the next disease is called myasthenia gravis. This one is muscle weakness, typically of the face and the throat. So it's affecting up here. And so if it gets too low, it can get into your respiratory muscles and cause breathing problems. That's called a myasthenic crisis. It can even get into the extremities if it continues to progress really thoroughly. And that's it. That's your chapter. It's kind of a short chapter in my opinion. It only took 3 videos to get through. But as always, read the outline summary and do those practice questions at the end as part of your studying. These are great questions. Just saying. So, thanks.